Grand rising, good day, and good night. I hope you all are doing well. It is a pleasure to be back. I have missed you all. Give me one moment. I'm trying to get another screen caught up so I can view the live. Hi 170, hi Thunder Beast, hi the cat down the road, Sarah Blaze, Mr. Miser, she big cute, the real prophetic Pisces, relaxing melody station. Hi to everyone coming in. Welcome. Missed you all. I'm so glad to be back. All right, so let's go ahead and let's just pull a card for the collective. What's going on? Finally, I got a Moonology deck. Many of you were suggesting I get one. I haven't messed with it yet, but we're going to pull one card from the Moonology. I hope you all have enjoyed your past few days. I think it's been about a week that I have been gone. South Node. Don't let your past hold you back. Wow. Okay, so it would appear to me that a majority of the collective right now is in alignment with a lot of powerful healing. As we move forward, we have to take a look back at everywhere we have been. And many of you are doing exactly that, and I'm so glad to see it. So, actually, I think I'm not going to mess with the cards at the moment. I'm just going to talk to you. I feel like there's some topics that really need to be covered, and seeing this card coming out first reaffirms that these topics do need to be discussed. So, what are these topics? Well, in the spiritual community in Tarot, we hear a lot of things like ascension, shadow, integration, healing. We go through things like pain, suffering. What the hell is all of this? What does it mean? What is its purpose? What is ascension? What is our shadow? What is integrating our shadow? What exactly is healing? A lot of people will tell us that ascension is all about being high vibrational and love and light. And like, sure, you want to strive towards those attributes, towards those characteristics. But if you focus only on the light side of yourself, you're kind of screwing your progress and growth. So, what is our shadow? Okay, so our shadow is ourself. It's a part of ourself. I know we like to put on our happy, smiley, high vibrational, loving, generous, but have you always felt high vibrational, loving, generous, compassionate, adjective you wish to use? No. And if you think you are, I think you're lying to yourself. Because I guarantee you there's been a time where you felt hurt, you felt anger, you felt rage, you felt anxiety, you felt fear, you felt agony. That's a part of yourself. Do not deny that part of yourself. It is valid for how you felt. So when we integrate our shadow, when we heal, when we ascend, it's not all about sunshine and rainbows and glitter and gold. Now, granted, it looks great when you achieve the integration of your shadow. But in order for us to do that, we have to go back and revisit every single time we experienced our shadow. This is why when we ascend in a spiral, not in a straight line direction, because as we achieve a higher level of consciousness, we will come full circle and revisit previous lessons, previous wounds, previous cycles. Did you learn the lesson? Do you have a higher perspective now? Okay, now that you have learned and healed, what's your take on what has happened? So, in order to heal, we have to feel. We have to feel legitimately. Like what we get so caught up in being strong or having to survive or having to fight that we forget how the fuck to feel our own damn pain. Maybe you had to suppress it. Maybe you had to be in really strong masculine energy. Maybe it would have messed up your position if you allowed the emotions to run it, so you set them aside and you didn't address it. But we still have to go back and address that time where you felt misunderstood, or you felt upset, or you felt angry. Now, these emotions are not inherently bad. Shadow's not a bad thing. There's really no such thing as good. It's all relative anyways. It's just an experience of ourself. So, when we revisit things like childhood wounds or trauma, let's say you had an abandonment, a trauma of abandonment at a young age. If you ignore, if you go your whole life ignoring how that incident made you feel, and you keep trying to tell yourself that you're this and you're that and you're this and you're that, but you're not even accepting. That's one of the biggest parts of healing is we have to accept our pain. We have to accept our suffering. We have to accept our shadow. It is a very important process of this experience as we heal, as we ascend. This is why people will talk about you cannot reach the heavens unless your roots have branched down through hell. You want to know what makes someone powerful? When they have been through the most agonizing pain, hell, and suffering, and still chose to be of love, to be of light, not because they ignored that they felt at a time less than that, but because they accepted it, released it, integrated that. It was an experience. What did that teach you? That time where you felt all alone or abandoned. What did you learn from that? What was that supposed to teach you? How can you use that? A lot of people want to hide from our shadow. Our shadow's where our strength is. And many of you do this and you might not even realize. Let's say you get put in a situation where you read the vibe of the room and you recognize you're in a hostile environment. Are you going to wear your, hi, I'm so empathic and loving and open. Hi, come on in, come into my energy, invade my boundaries. No, you're probably going to have RBF. You're probably going to have your shadow risen, that yang energy rising up the back. And you're probably going to be wearing a little bit of your shadow cloak because you want people to know not to mess with you, right? There's power in it. So how do we do this? Again, we have to feel. That is like the most crucial part of all of it is allowing ourselves to feel. You cannot deny the pain. And that can be really hard when you have spent so long in your life avoiding that very pain. Okay, so as we go back to these times where we have felt some form of shadow experience, right? And we revisit it not with resentment, not with fear, not with whatever, but with love and understanding that this was to serve us in some kind of way. And when we take this lens of empowerment and we also see the purpose in it, it gives us a strength to endure anything. Because, all right, if you went through a traumatic, awful experience, and then right after it happened, I told you it was for nothing. It served no purpose. It was just a random event and you got screwed. Would you feel empowered by that? I really don't think you would. So let's change that narrative. Let's revisit with the eyes and understanding that this is all a self-induced path. We are the creators of the experience and the experiencers of this experience all at the same time. You are the creator and the avatar. You are the scientist and the observed. You are the observer and what's being observed. So when we take this higher level of understanding of self and then revisit these times, now we can actually see, okay, so I was facing that kind of lesson, and this was to teach me this, and yes, it hurt, and I understand why it hurt, and this is what I'm going to do with that understanding of this hurt. And then now when you look back at that memory, it no longer hurts. It no longer hurts because you've already accepted that it hurt, and you've integrated the lesson, and then you turned that shadow into light. Now, that's a really simple way, but it can get more complicated than that. Okay, what if our shadow is I'm raging all the time or I'm angry and I don't understand why I always am so angry or quick to turn or snap? If you are experiencing something like that, first, I would take a moment and ask yourself, because in the moment, you might not even realize that this anger is coming from really a grief that happened 10, 20 years ago, and you still haven't processed it. This is why, until we make the unconscious conscious, it will rule our lives and we will call it fate. I believe Carl Jung said something along those lines. We have to become aware of ourselves. Otherwise, we will keep repeating the same wounds, the same patterns over and over and over again, wondering, why the fuck is this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? We have to revisit with the eyes of, I love myself, and this was an experience to teach me something. It's why they call it Earth School. It's a school, and sometimes learning is hard. And I mean, look at in cultures when they would do these initiations, they would put people in crazy, messed up, scary, dangerous situations alone. Up shit's creek without a paddle. Figure it out. Find the light in the nothing. Find yourself in the chaos. Find the order in the disorder. Because no matter how messed up, how chaotic, how evil, how wicked, how twisted, somehow, somewhere, there's a silver lining. Because we have to understand who's really in control. God. So when we understand God is always in control, God is always loving us, and everything that we go through ultimately is to shape us, hone us, or teach us something, then we can feel empowered that there is a purpose to all this pain I went through. There is a reason why I experienced this betrayal and this wound. And it's okay that it hurt. It's okay that it made me sad. It's okay that it made me angry. But we have to look at it. We have to be willing to look at it. It's one thing to not understand. It's another thing to not even be willing to understand because it hurts too much to look at it. The being a healer or taking the spiritual path or being on a enlightened, heightened path really takes a lot of responsibility in self. Because ultimately, this whole creation, this whole experience is a journey through, in, within self. We are all a manifestation of ourselves within ourselves. There is no true separation. We are all one. Now, as we, like, for example, where I was talking about, let's say someone in the collective was dealing with something like you have a bad temper or you snap or things get under your skin and you're angry and you're triggered and you don't understand why because nothing in your current life has any reason to cause that in you. Well, then I would ask you to ask yourself, what are you angry about? And I know it sounds simple. It sounds silly sometimes, but it's a deep thing to ask ourselves. And it really takes us to really be aware. And that requires us to surrender. We have to surrender everything that we think we know and look at it with a new, fresh set of eyes. Only after you have taken 3 full breathfuls of a new space will you truly understand the new space you are in. You're not going to understand it right away. You're going to have to keep going at it. Keep diving deeper and deeper into the wound. Because right now you're experiencing a surface manifestation of a subconscious process. So back to the anger. Okay, let's say finally you realize after your ego's trying to rationalize and tell you, well, I'm angry about the stop sign or I'm angry about the neighbor barking or whatever. And really, when you get down and you calm down and you realize yourself, no, that's not. That's you projecting. So what are you angry about? You might even realize that you're not even actually angry. You might be sad. You might be grieving and you don't know how to grieve. So where's this grief coming from? Oh, yeah, that. Okay, let's take a look at that. I don't want to. It hurts. I'm scared. It's okay. Take the divine's hand and look at it. Look at it with love. Look at it with acceptance. Understand that was an experience and it was real and it was valid and it was to teach you something. And it wasn't for nothing. Even if we fail to see the picture, pray for discernment. Pray for it to be illuminated to you. You don't have to do it all alone. And ultimately, there is so much love and light around you that is just dying to help you heal. We just got to ask. We just have to be open, willing to receive. You have to be receptive. It's really about your intention. Do you have it in your heart to look at the deepest, darkest parts of yourself? Do you ever find yourself saying or thinking something hateful or aggressive or mean or something that's not of a highest vibration? All right, every single moment you have ever done that, take a look at it and understand what was going on. Once when you understand the surface level of the energy and the dynamics, then look a little bit deeper. And you're going to keep going through rabbit hole, rabbit hole, rabbit hole, and it can be very overwhelming because now you are having to process, I don't know, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I don't know how long you've been suppressing these wounds or emotions, but it's got to be felt. It's got to be released. That energy's got to come out. If you ever find yourself randomly emotional throughout the day, like for example, you might see like a scene in a Disney movie or something like that, and it's like innocent, it's child, it's life, it's funny or whatever, but then you find yourself crying to a happy scene. And you don't understand why, because in that moment you're not upset. Okay, why are you sad? Why is that crying? Did you see something that you wish you saw before or wish you had? Like, what do you feel? Is there a perception of a lack or a gain, or like what's going on here? We have to be honest with ourselves or we will never grow. And it's okay to take the time you need to do so, and it can be a long time. And honestly, you're probably never going to fully complete all of the healing that needs to be done, but you can accomplish a lot. That's why we're here. That's why we're here in this three-dimensional physicality experience, this dense, this separateness, this duality, this pain, this suffering, this hardship. It's so we can grow and ascend very quickly. Okay, so here's another thing about this. As we go deep within ourselves and we allow ourselves to feel something that we have denied ourselves feeling, it's going to come up to the surface. This energy's been trapped in your body. It's been trapped in your cells. You may cry, you may vomit, you may sweat, you may tremor, you may lose your balance. Like it can, I don't know what kind of pain you're trying to process, but it can be a lot. So what are some things that we can do to help us? Well, what you just did leading up to that point, congratulations. Not a lot of people do that. Not a lot of people take the time to do that for themselves, but it's crucial. And ultimately, if you are in a divine path of service, it's your responsibility to. How can you be a vessel of the divine if the light is slipping through the cracks of your vessel, of your unhealed wounds? So we have to look at the wound and allow the light to come within and glue us back together, mend us, fuse us, make us more beautiful and stronger. So as this energy comes up, me personally, I'm not a medical professional or anything like that. This is just me being a man to another man or woman. I myself have experienced the benefits. I would stick with the elements. We are the elements. It is natural. So if it's natural and it's of the element of creation, then absolutely work with it. Water, fire, earth, air, the sun, the moon. Work with it. It is us. We are the sun. We are the moon. We are the water. We are the trees. Work with it. It's a part of you. It's here for us. We are here for us. We are all here together. Ultimately, that's the goal, is for us to come together and uplift each other. So it's okay to go out and sit by a tree or sit in grass or go out by the ocean or fast, detox, cleanse. As above, so below. You can do a physical thing with a spiritual implication, or you can make a spiritual thing physical. You can get creative with it. You don't have to go looking in a book or I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't do those things, but you don't have to. Just listen to yourself. What feels natural to you? That's what matters. Just tapping into yourself. Feel who you are. Learn how to feel yourself again. So if you need to, fast. If you need to, go on a water cleanse or a juice cleanse. Detox your body. Detox your vessel. Be in the sun. Sweat. Connect with the earth. Stretch, movement, exercise. Also, it really helps because when we put our attention towards these deep, dark pockets of shadow within ourselves, and then they get brought up and released, that energy's got to flow. So if you do any kind of like yoga or tai chi or just dancing, just put your Bluetooth music on and play whatever music you like to listen to and just sing and dance. That can be your healing. It's just whatever feels right to you, as long as you are connected to yourself and you're flowing. And it's okay if tears or sweat or rage or whatever, just let it come out. Allow yourself to feel it because it's a part of you. This is how you tame demons. You love them because they are a part of ourselves. That's what the underworld is. That's what shadow is. It's all of our pain. It's all of our suffering. This will also help you because, unfortunately, oftentimes when we are trying to heal, there's a lot of things that don't want us to heal. So if you are also experiencing all of this, trying to allow yourself to feel, trying to be vulnerable, trying to bring things to the surface and cleanse and purge and reconnect and heal and raise your vibration, but then someone's projecting negative energy, or you're dealing with spell work, or there's spiritual interference of lower vibrational entities. What is the greatest way to protect ourselves? Honestly, I use it with just a couple pieces of scripture. Love thy enemy, and vengeance is our Lord's. That right there is enough to keep me through it. Even in the moments where it is really hard for me not to act on my very reasonable and understandable shadow in that moment. We have to be humble. We have to accept how we feel, yes, but we still need to be in a vibration of love. Do not ever allow yourself to hate. The moment you allow hate in your heart, the devil has won. Don't let the devil win. Devil, right? Whatever. Concepts at this point. So, let's talk about protecting ourselves from negative energy and spell work. Oftentimes, people will project a lot of heavy energy towards you because of one main reason. Hate. Hate. Sure, we could say it's because they're jealous or they're spite. We can use other adjectives, but ultimately, it's a lack of love in their heart that is causing them to even do this to you. And if you really want to take it a step further, you could understand that that's a part of you that doesn't have love and that part of your experience of heart. So you would pray for yourself in them. When we heal and integrate our shadow, I mean, look at, why do you think they talk about Christ holds the gates of hell? What does that even mean? How do you hold the gate of hell, but you're of light of God? What does that mean? What are you trying to tell me? What is the underworld? What is the upper world? What are demons and angels? They're all a part of ourselves. So, can you go back to the time you felt rage or wrath or grief or guilt or anxiety or fear? Can you accept that you felt that and then choose not to? Don't deny it and try to trick yourself into that never existed, because you're fucking yourself. Don't do that. Give yourself more credit than that. You hurt for a reason. You lashed out, like, whatever. That's valid. That's you. Don't deny that part of yourself. But revisit with understanding and love and compassion for yourself. And if anyone else is involved with it, treat them the same, even if they hate you. Because the moment you give them your hate, if you hate them back, they won. You gave them power. If someone's trying to project death and illness and despair and conflict and chaos in your home, and you're not in alignment for that energy, but you pick up on someone sending that to you, and you allow yourself to feed into the shadow that you may or may not have experienced, which is natural, and then dive into, allow it into your heart instead of choosing light instead, you have failed. You have given them power, and now you need to seek God. So let's skip that step. Let's skip the oops, and let's just approach everything with love. If someone hates you, love them. Someone steals from you, love them. Because they are a part of you. And this is when it gets to the point to where people will, this is why you'll see in readings where you'll see readers will be like, oh my gosh, someone like summoned a demon against you and it showed up at your house and y'all kicked it and sipped tea. Damn right, because you already healed that demon. You've already accepted that demon. You've already given that demon validity in its experience, in its reality. And then you addressed it and you gave it love, and then you chose not to give it power. And now it holds no power over you. Evil will only ever have power over you if you have evil in your heart. And we are all guilty at some point or another of some form of sin in this life. Don't deny it. Don't argue. You're not perfect. It's okay. We're learning. But are you going to choose to stay in that wound, in that shadow? Or are you going to accept it, feel it, release it, integrate it with love? Now when those demons come crawling at your door, you can say, hey, buddy, what's up? Oh, don't be mad. It's good. It's all good here. You've already accomplished that. I used to imagine when I was younger that I would turn my demons into little pets and have them on leashes and they listen to me. That helped me when I was younger. I was like 17, 18 when I was doing that. Love is the most powerful thing. Achieve gnosis. What is gnosis? It is understanding through experience. Would be one way of understanding that word. Understanding through experience. Not a book. Not because you heard about it. Not because you read about it. Extra, read all about it. No, I'm not talking about that. You can't read about this. You have to feel it. This is why you see in so many mythologies and scriptures, like people literally going through fucking hell. Why? I'm not going to sit here and act like I have all the answers. I have no answers. None. And I'm okay with that. All I know is love. All I know is God's in control. And I will love thy enemy like I love thyself. Because ultimately, thy enemy is thyself. And the whole part about the vengeance being our Lord's, that's a real good, quick way to remind yourself. Don't get any karma now. Don't do something silly. Don't do something you might regret. Don't do something that you would later on have to revisit and heal and ascend and repent or whatever. However you address yourself when you mess up or you slip up or you do something that might not truly be in alignment with your highest self. Don't try to take things into your own hands in that way. If it's not of love, just give it to God. Give it to God. Accept that you felt that. If you ever felt some kind of evil in your heart towards someone, I would repent. I would. I would accept that you felt that. I would understand why you felt what you felt. I would look at every aspect of that experience in every way, inner, under, outer, all the layers, all the worlds, all the dimensions. Look at it all. Get the full picture. And honestly, if you've done that that part right, you don't. It's a no-brainer because it makes sense. You understand the purpose that it served. And if you find yourself lost, if you find yourself confused, if you find yourself struggling in the darkness, if you find yourself not understanding what the hell is going on, why it's happening, if it's, you need to find a purpose. You need to find a purpose. Now, I don't mean you need to be a billionaire or an author or you got to be the next Steve Jobs or whatever. Look, no. What is your purpose? Your purpose can be simple. It can be so simple. To live. Cool. Great. All right, that's your purpose. Now you've got something to hold on to. No matter how heavy, how dark, how crippling it can be, there's a purpose to it. And that's empowering. But if we feel like it's all for naught, and woe is me, and you're screwing yourself. You got that chip on your shoulder and you're putting it out like you're a victim. You're only a victim of yourself. And you could argue, you can get hateful as much as you want. That is your lesson, not mine. All right, I'm going to take a brief second and catch up with all of you guys in the live chat. I apologize if that was heavy, but I felt like it needed to be said for a lot of people. Phoenix Rising. Yes, I want revenge on the narcissist. And I completely understand. And, you know, when we find ourselves feeling wrathful towards our enemy, we have to remind ourselves, love thy enemy, vengeance is our Lord's. Because, all right, hear me out. Look at all the times you surrendered a karmic, messed up, imbalanced, unjust situation in your life to God. And then it played out flawlessly in a way like, oh my gosh, as much as we think we know right and wrong, we don't. We really just need to give it to God. Because I promise you, God will do a much better job at getting your lick back or getting what's yours or making shit right than you ever could. Period. Point blank. Like, it's wild. When we take things into our own hands, we unfortunately disallow the divine to help us. This is why detachment, like non-attachment, and surrendering, and faith, and love are probably the most useful tools anyone can ever learn in this life. I don't care what your life is. Learn those things, and you could face anything, move any mountain, overcome any shadow. Give it to God and surrender. That would be my advice. I think I'm just gonna make a sandwich and give it to God. Wow, this message makes karmic surrender to the Most High. Nothing more stronger than that. Like, ultimately, the most empowering thing is not trying to have power, but just being in alignment with God. That is the most empowered you can be. And if you can find yourself to always choose love, even if you don't feel love, I mean, trust me, there's some trying times. I got wounds, I got shadows. Sometimes I be in a sketchy ass neighborhood and somebody coming out at me at 2 o'clock in the morning, I can black out drunk, being disrespectful. And really, I probably want to just lay them out because I'm from the streets, dog. Like, what's up? But nah, we can't do that. We could. Should we? Love them. Love them, walk away. Your life will improve so much. The father wound goes back to Yeshua leaving his only begotten son. We've got this. That's actually a really deep statement. Well, we could take that and apply that back to the father wound and the mother wound. And it's really like that first split from source is my understanding. It's when the zero, something branched out of the nothingness and became a something, but was also experiencing not everything that it... It's complicated. I hope that makes sense. And that's how you heal ancestral trauma. And see, like, that's the biggest thing is like, we'll heal our wounds. And then that's why, like, when will I be healed? What's your definition of healed? When will you be happy? When will you be joyful? When will you feel okay? Is that your definition of healed? I don't know. Whenever you decide to, I guess. But we will always heal because remember how I said there is no separation. You think you've healed all your wounds? Great. That's awesome. What else can you heal? I'm serious. What else can you heal? You're never done. If we were done, we wouldn't be here. If you were done, you wouldn't be here. You'd be back to singularity. You'd be the Om, the all that is. PTSD, nervous system damage. Absolutely, Brittany. That is what I was talking about with detox, cleanse, get in the elements, ground, water, sun, sweat, sing. Oh my gosh, sing. I'm not a great singer. I don't like to sing in public or anything like that, but I really enjoy singing to God. And I didn't go to like a bunch of churches, so I don't know hymns or anything like that. So I just make up my own shit. God, I love the hell out you. Amen. It's just got to be you. As long as it's you, as long as it's true, as long as you are truly expressing how you feel to the divine, do it. It's empowering. Oh my gosh. You could do that and like heal yourself. It's crazy. We have so much, like, it's funny because, and this is like kind of the insanity of enlightenment in a way. It's like, we'll talk about being empowered and you have so much ability and power and authority, but at the same time it's a level of surrendering it too. So like there's this, we got to navigate a lot of energies, and it's not an easy path. Are you just a victim, or are you the testimony and inspiration for others to keep going? And that's, like people that get caught up in that kind of mentality, and it's just like, okay, like eventually you keep telling yourself the same thing over and over and over again, this negative affirmation. Okay, now what? So you're this and you're that and you're a victim to this and the whole world is fucked and everything blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. Are you gonna sit there and keep bitching about it, or are you gonna do something about it? Mm, I don't know, but I know if you had enough love in your heart, you'd want to do something about it. And the first step would be to heal yourself. Wow. You guys are all amazing. It's been a while, so I am taking my time connecting with the comments. It's been a while. I've missed you all. There were several times I wanted to hop on, and I was just like, no, I need to keep healing. I need to keep recharging. I just got home. I haven't even unpacked fully yet, y'all. God bless you, H. Christine. Let anything that comes out flow. Seraphs embrace. If they send spell work with negative intentions, return to sender with modifiers if necessary. The law of sowing and reaping. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Covers your karma 10,000. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Daniel. If you get angry and react, you're giving your power away. And like that can be really frustrating because it's like an acceptance of our powerlessness, of our like it's a humbling experience. It really is. We just we will get smithed against that rock over and over and over again until we finally surrender to the divine, because I mean ultimately there's only one will, there's one plan. All right. I'm going to go ahead and let's just see what needs to come out for the collective. So, as we do this, right, as we empower ourselves, as we surrender and we accept all parts of ourselves, that's like that self acceptance. Like, and that alone can be really difficult because, like, what if you want so badly to be a good person? Well, you gotta accept at times you weren't. It's just, it is. Not everyone is Christ. And even then, all right, I can't. That'd be too controversial for this. We have divine creation, 12 acceptance, personal commitments, and euphoria. That's the big thing is like you get to a certain level of healing and integration and oh my gosh, the high you feel from the endorphins, the divine, the love. Because if all right, if you could fully embrace and accept every single part of you, not the parts you like, not the parts you want to go and tell, your boyfriend or girlfriend's mom or dad about. No, even the other shit. The shit that you like to bury and wish people didn't know about you. Can you accept that about yourself? Can you love yourself? Can you love yourself even if that were you? That is how we empower ourselves. That is how we take our power back, and we don't give our power to anything. We're just light. Yeah, you got shadow, but you choose light. And it's not an imbalance. It's not like you're trying, because the people that like try so hard to be all bubbly and high vibrational, and they try so hard to be good, be high vibrational, and great, God bless them. They're trying at least. Like it's not like their intentions are wrong, but it's flawed. It's flawed, and you could tell because they get burnt out. and they crash and they burn, and then they'll lash out and they'll get snappy, and then they break down and they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's gotten into me. I'm not normally like this. I don't know why I've been so emotional. I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to be mean. Well, yeah, it's because you got a lot of bottled up shit that you won't look at. And you're bubbly, and it's kind of forced. It's faked a little because you haven't fully accepted and loved all parts of yourself. So you're acting on like 25% of your being. Well, that's draining. Oh my gosh, that drains you. That will suck the life out you. The good thing is this integration, this self-acceptance, this self-love, wow, cathedral of light and cosmic wave with spirit guides. Like I said, you do not have to do this alone. You're not alone. In a way you are, in a way you're not. So, you know, I guess depending on where your path would depend on whether or not you want to say you are or aren't. I guess it just depends on what you desire to experience in order to ascend and heal and grow. New friendships, preparations, and custodians, cosmic waves. This is giving me like clean up on aisle 3D Earth. A lot of like master architects and ascended masters are surrounding the collective on Earth right now, because I feel like so many people are stepping into their true north. I know we got the South Node out here. That was the first card. And I just gave a lot of information to try to help you get out of that South Node. You have to accept and embrace and love all of yourself. And then choose love. Choose love. And if any part of yourself is not in alignment with love, I would first look at what it is, why it is, what can you learn from it, what needs to be healed. And then hopefully if you've done that process right, the rest is kind of a no-brainer. It just flows. You know, you're back into yourself again. But if you're struggling with that part, lean on God or the divine or Christ or whatever you resonate with. Stubborn attitudes, extending the olive branch, and artistry. 5, change, cathedral light. You know, as we do this, and then because you dismantle limiting beliefs, limiting constructs, like blockages in your way, blockages you wouldn't even realize were going on. Like, oh my gosh, I have met so many people that try so hard to be like wealthy or successful or something, and they don't understand why, and they're like, I'm doing everything, and I'm like, are you healed? Have you healed? That's probably why you're not experiencing what you're trying to achieve, because there's something you're neglecting or ignoring. You have to clear the first level before you go to the next. You can't just run through. It's like in those games where you like run through the whole dungeon, but you just run past all the bad guys and you don't do anything, and you go right to the end and you grab the thing, but then you realize you got to go back and actually slaughter the bad guys because one of them has something that you needed in order to use that key at the end of the map. You can't skip steps. There's no shortcuts. You either face your pain and suffering and like it and love it and taste it and feel it and spit it back out or whatever, however you need to process that, and then you move on. But you can't skip that first step. All right. So as we do this, I really see that a lot of you are tapping into higher crystalline grids of energy, because you have cleared out the trauma, essentially, because a lot of this energy is trauma. It's trauma based. It's traumatic. It's PTSD. It's right? That's such a hard thing to work through. But as you do, you become more crystalline. So when you tap into these flames, look, Archangel Michael, Heart of a Warrior, Divine Protection and Synchronicity, and then Galactic Vibration, you allow yourself to step into your higher self. As you, so, I love this. I love fire. I love the element of fire. It's so beautiful. So, as we integrate that shadow, and then we pour that spirit and that love back into it, we ignite that primordial flame, like that deep, that underworld, like you got to go deep in your mind, deep in your darkest parts, and light it. And it ignites. It's intense, it's powerful, and it's purifying. It purifies you. When you do this, not only are you purifying your spirit and your soul, but your vessel, your life, even the people around you. And you can seriously jump some crazy timeline shifts. I am not in the same world that I've been in the past few years. I've jumped into multiple different parallel realities just in the past 2 years. It's been wild, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have too. And this is how you do it. You come into an alignment. You have to learn all the lessons and heal, because ultimately it serves a purpose. Realize that there is a reason to it. There is a purpose. Are we always going to see it and understand it? Probably not. All right, we're probably not. We got little brains sometimes, okay? As much as we try, sometimes it's just for the divine to know, okay? We have to accept that too. These flames that ignite when you bring in the light deep within your dark shadow, it's like binding the shadow to the Holy Spirit. Because you stood in hell and chose love. It holds no power. This is seriously how you protect yourself from everything. From everything. No matter what someone is trying to do to you. Heal. Heal in love and ascend. So, these fires that are coming in, these energetic primordial fires that you have now risen from your deep unconscious underworld. Okay? This rises up throughout your temple. And this is why I said sweat, hydrate, fast, cleanse, detox, move around, stretch, dance, sing, whatever it takes. You got to move. You got to get the energy moving, because your body has been holding on to a lot of stagnant energy, and you need that out. Because it's bringing in, because flames are very purifying. And many of you have been working quite closely, whether you realize it or not, with the violent flame of Saint Germain. This has been very helpful in you also increasing your intuition and your clair abilities. Because it's a whole lot easier to see when everything's love. It really is. If you don't have chaos, conflict, and pain, and anger, and hate, and wrath, and resentment in the back, deep pockets of your mind, it's a lot easier for you to see everything that's right in front of you. Because you don't have that big rock of like cloud and funk that you got to clear through. So, this means you are now tapping into more of a crystalline base energy. Not so limited, not so karmic, carnal. I was trying to say, oh my goodness, carbon. My goodness. Still tired. Lots of driving, y'all. All right, so this is how we purify our vessel and ultimately achieve ascension from carbon-based DNA to crystalline. You do it by igniting those primordial fires that are deep within your subconscious mind. And you do that by diving deeper and deeper and deeper into your wounds with love, acceptance, and understanding. Because if you go and you look at your wounds with resentment or anger or fear or anxiety, you're going to make the wound worse. You're feeding it. You're giving more of your light into it. And if you keep fucking up, it's going to freaking animate into a whole new beast and monster that you don't even realize is yourself. And will torment you and haunt you. Those little whispers and shadows and ghosts, man, that's freaking your demons. Your demons, not anyone else's, yours. Heal it. It won't be so tormenting because it doesn't have any power over you, because you already accepted it and loved it and moved on. This also allows you to become a better channel. I'm being guided to this hawk. Someone in the collective may have recently been seeing hawks. I know a lot of you probably see hawks a lot because I'm familiar with your energy. And I understand why, and you understand why. So we're not gonna talk too much over something that you already understand. But you may have specifically quite recently seen a hawk, and this one was different because it was like posted up and stern. You know what I'm saying? Like he was holding the block down for you, and he was. You're protected. While you were diving into yourself and allowing yourself to feel and be vulnerable, and you know, a lot of things wanted to come in and attack. But because you were brave enough to do what you did, oh, your ancestors, the divine, whoever works with you, whoever, like, whether you work with gods, goddesses, or deities, or whatever. I don't even like using those terms because really it's us. But yeah, like I said, you might experience doing this alone, and you're supposed to. That's part of the initiation, but you're not fully. Mm-mm. And if you have the courage to really step into and face yourself, the divine's going to make sure that you can do what you need to, because you having that intention in your heart to even be willing to do that it shows so much to the divine. It really does. And it gives you a lot of grace, and it gives you a lot of protection. Because look at your heart. Look at what you're doing. Well-being 36 and 24 past life. A cultural experience, it is behind you, regression. And then we have self-preservation, service to spirit, and youthful experience. And then scales of karma. Cycle of disharmony, creating new traditions, unfortunate events. So, not everything you are healing is from this life. And ultimately, that's why I really appreciate Earthrealm. I actually like, as much as it sucks, as much as it hurts, as much as I've bitched about it and I've rebuked and I've talked about how whatever is wrong with the world, I really appreciate how much I have learned in this life in such a short amount of time. I'm only in my mid 20s, and I feel like I've lived 10 lifetimes in just 2 decades. It's wild. And it's because of the suffering. If you want, like, my understanding of it is because of the suffering that we're able to grow that fast. You can literally become an ascended master in one lifetime on Earthrealm if you suffer and integrate and love and heal and transcend. You know, growth has pain. And many of us are, now that the veil is thinner and the quickening and, us ascending and just the times that we are in, it's extra potent. Extra potent. Which, all right, the good side of this is you can literally, like, in this lifetime alone, you can heal all of this life, all of your past lives. You can free your lineage. You can free your ancestors. You can heal the entire solar system and the collective and uplift the planet all in one lifetime. What a badge of honor, dude. Like, damn. My bad. I didn't realize you were that, like, much of a powerhouse, that much of a transmuter, that much of a healer. Now, the shadow aspect of this is that the part that can suck about this is everything's very freaking intense. Your emotions and wounds are eternal. They're amplified by countless lifetimes, whether it be yours or your ancestors, of this trauma, these pains. I've mentioned in a recent video about us having like 14 generations worth of ancestral lives in our body. the information, the memories. Well, that also means if we're to just look at that right there, just that fact, that's 14 generations of pain and suffering and unhealed wounds. Do you think all 14 generations of those individuals that came before you healed everything they went through? I don't know. I don't know if they did or not. But you have the opportunity to. And God bless you if you do. This is a celebration. So, this can be really intense. And a lot of people will fall. A lot of people will fail. And unfortunately, we know about these times. 2 people grinding at the millstone. One moment. And then the next, there's only one. Some people are going to learn. Some people are going to integrate. Some people are going to make the shift. Some people are going to make the jump. Not everyone will. I would like to think that all 24, 23,000 or something of you guys do. There's no reason why you shouldn't. I pray to God you do. You deserve it. And honestly, the shit y'all have been through, damn right you deserve it. So let's make it serve a purpose. Let's empower ourselves. Why did we go through what we went through? What can it teach us? And what are we going to do with it? And how can we serve better? All right, we're going to pull some tarot. Let's see what's going on. Can't Be Tamed by Miley came to mind. Celebration and rejoicing. First things first, the Hierophant. All right, what's going on? What's the energy? What's the message? 6 of Wands. Damn, that pretty much, that should just be the reading right there. Success, Hierophant. Hierophant, success. You want success? You better be the Hierophant. Or the High Priestess. I think those are counterparts. The Hierophant and the High Priestess are counterparts, is my understanding of the cards. But ultimately, the way I like to look at the Hierophant is higher divine order. This is my higher divine order. How do we come into divine order? Remember how I said earlier, no matter how chaotic, how hectic, how evil, how just wrong everything may seem, how it doesn't fucking make sense, what is the, just agony, why? There is an order in the disorder. Yes, there is a chaos, but there is always a divine. Divine is in everything. So even in the darkest moments, we can find that silver lining. Many of you are called to and have already passed experiences of that same initiation. Oh my gosh. So we've got 6, 6, and 33. I know the other 3 ain't out here. It's because I split the deck and saw it and then immediately saw this one. So we've got the 6 of Wands, the 6 of Swords, the 3 of Wands, the energy of the 3 of Cups, and right underneath it, the 10 of Cups. You want to be successful? You want to be happy? Step into a higher divine order within yourself. How do you do that? Well, let's take a look at the things that aren't in higher divine order. The Hermit. This is a journey of self that is ultimately done within. And oftentimes done alone. Alright, what else? Choose love. That's it. That's the main thing that you could do in life, is just choose love. No matter what the experience is, choose love. Now, I'm sure I can already feel like someone that's really unhealed and unlearned being like, "Well, how can I choose love if not enough?" And I'm like, "All right, wow, okay, slow down a little." Just because you love someone doesn't mean you're going to allow them to fuck you over, okay? I love my family. I love my parents. I love everyone. I love my enemies. I love the woman that keeps sending black magic over my home and family. I love her. Am I going to allow her in my life? No. Am I going to go knock on my parents' doorsteps and be like, "Hey," and no. That would be a disservice to myself. We have to love ourselves. And ultimately, when you love yourself enough, you won't put up with anything. Why should you? Choose love. Full steam ahead. That's when the chariot comes out. After all of this healing and then coming into a higher divine order, a higher awareness of self and integrating, and then choosing love, choosing God, choosing divine. For those who don't know, the sun is a portal. Yes, it is. Go the distance. 47. Wow. Wow, that's a lot. I had mentioned that you can make massive quantum leaps, jumps, and shifts if you heal. If you heal. Not because you wrote something down on a piece of paper 7 times over and over at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Now, you can do those things, sure. I mean, everything's an energy. If you have the intention and everything's in alignment, sure, you can do that. But if you really want to change your life and experience, heal. Because we are creating our experience. So if you heal the wounds that are manifesting the problems in your life, you no longer have those wounds manifesting those problems. And I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. Some of these shifts and jumps I myself have witnessed in my own life, even my enemies aren't the same. Even my enemies aren't the same. Their energy's different too. Like, it's crazy Mandela effect. Like, it's wild. Like, my mom ain't even my mom that I knew as a kid. It's a completely different. It's weird. It's weird to experience. But hey, whatever. If it gets you there, it gets you there. Just heal and choose love. So, and here's an application of what I'm trying to state. Okay, so we understand that everything is a mirror of ourselves, right? So this is a holographic simulated experience of self based off of what we think, feel, and hold within us, essentially. Basically, it's our heart, our mind, our intentions that create our experience. I mean, look at the mechanics of quantum physics. Everything's in a state of superposition until an observer observes it. Once when we observe and try to measure or construct it into a something, then it becomes a something. So let's take all of this knowledge, this understanding, and apply it. If you change your inner world, your outer world will follow. So, if you are frustrated and irritated with certain scenarios, cycles, people, karmic lessons, and you want to no longer experience that in your life, heal the wound that is manifesting that lesson. And then it no longer serves you. If something doesn't serve you, it'll fall off. It'll fall out your life. If you're in alignment with God, it really does. If it's gone. On to the next thing. You learn your lesson? Cool. You experience that anymore. And like this could be like I don't know. It could be wild the way it manifests. So anyways, go the distance. New life. New life. Go the distance. Heal it all. Heal it all. Be the brave warrior. Be the one in your bloodline to heal it all. Are you really going to? I don't know. But let's try to. Let's try to. Let's have that attitude. Let's have that mindset. So that way the ones that come after us will have a better chance at maybe experiencing something a little better than what we had to or something, right? I mean, we want to improve. We want to grow. And ultimately, I would like to think we want to leave something behind of benefit to others. To be fair. And this is, look, go the distance, new life, to be fair. All right? Everything has to be balanced. So if you balance the energy within yourself, then what you experience outside of yourself will be balanced. So what does that mean? All right, if you have conflict, resentment, anger, greed in your heart in any kind of way, even if it's suppressed, even if it's like you don't ever act on it. You don't ever act on it. You're always the greatest person. No one would even know you have that wound. It's that deep. It's that buried. It's that under the surface. But it's still within you. And you haven't accepted it. You haven't felt it. You haven't chosen love over it yet. Part of you is still holding on to it. So, you're going to see that reflected back to you over and over and over and over again. Period. This is why I really say we're not a victim to anything but ourselves. One way, shape, or another. And I know you could be like, well, how do you, with a child that's never done anything? Well, they might not have done anything in this life, but you don't know what they just got done doing before they incarnated in that body. Like I said, we really don't understand the full picture oftentimes. I'm grateful that we don't have to necessarily. If we could surrender the need to know or control. Yeah. Never ending story, fork in the road. That's essentially what it is. You know? It will repeat over and over and over again, endlessly, until you make the change inside yourself. You can blame your parents or your family or your friends or your boss or your coworkers or that piece of crap, like whatever, or whoever. It doesn't matter. You can blame it on society, blame it on the structures of the system, blame it on the powers that be. Blame, 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 blame. And you're going to keep experiencing it over and over and over again until you take accountability for your experience. It is your life. This is why I have a really hard time with cowardism or people that don't take accountability, because they're the problem. The people that don't take accountability are the problem of the world. We have to take accountability, and it starts with ourselves. You can't take accountability for someone else, but you can do it for yourself. And if your inner world is in alignment to a higher vibrational experience, that's what you're going to experience. You could literally go through a healing session, whether you do a guided meditation, you do a workshop on a Zoom, or you just sat in the sun and cried to God. Whatever it is, it's cool. It's you. It's your journey. It's your pain. You do enough of that in one day, and you can literally go to sleep and wake up in a whole new world. And you'll know it. You'll know it. You'll know what I'm talking about. It feels different. Everything's different. And it's kind of eerie because it's like almost the same too, but not quite. I mean, like buildings that are there that weren't there before, or are different colors than they were before, or people have different attitudes than they've ever had. I've woken up in a world where people who were always had a fucking issue. Like, oh my gosh, like, could you just not, please? Like, why you do? All right, that was a reflection of something in me I needed to heal. Once when I healed, I took accountability for myself, and then I chose love, and I accepted that. I've came back to work the next day, and then every day afterwards, those people never had that energy towards me again. It was mind-boggling. It was like Twilight Zone. Like, it was like, is this real? We are powerful. We are the creators of our own experience. And when you truly understand yourself and who you are, you're going to be doing things in life a little bit differently because you understand the weight the energy you hold carries. You understand the effects of the things that you say and do. And so you're going to be a little more mindful, a little more intentional, a little more focused. All right, I'm going to take a moment and catch up on some of you lovelies in the chat. Forgiveness and love isn't a reason to accept bad behavior. Gosh darn right. That's what people don't. This is what, like, oh my gosh. And like karmic individuals will try to like weaponize shit against us. Well, I thought you're supposed to be forgiving. And I'm like, yeah, I freaking forgive you, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna allow you to continue to fuck me over. I forgive you because I love myself. I forgive you because it's ultimately it's not in my power or control what happens to you or how this is settled. It's God. So yeah, I forgive you. Forgive the hell out you. Because I'm not trying to fuck myself over by not forgiving you. And the greatest of the commandments is love. And it is. Absolutely, Bobby. It takes more than just the pen. It takes the physical effort. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing about like, oh, I hear it all the time. You see those YouTube videos of like how I manifested my blah, 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 blah. And they make it seem like, oh, all I did was write it on a piece of paper and over again and believed it and it just happened. That's bullshit. Straight up. It is. You have to be in alignment. You have to heal. You have to put action into place. It's not just going to fall in your lap. There's no cheat codes to life. Now, when you achieve a certain level of gnosis and awareness of self, it can kind of feel like you found a cheat code for life. Especially if you have operated in a lesser understanding for so long in your life, and then you finally wake up and realize what you are and what you can do. Yeah, at that point, you might kind of feel a little like, yo, this is wild. Should I have this much ability or whatever? I agree with you, James Joyce. Yeah, we always got to look out for the little one, right? The good thing is, though, if you have that in your heart, you're a little one to something bigger than you. So that means something bigger than you's got your back, too. Make friends with your feelings. That's what it means with making friends with your demons. Or learning how to live with your monsters, or whatever. That's ultimately it. It's an emotional thing. And emotions are hard, especially in earth realm, like this 3D earth realm, our emotions are intense and they could literally kill us. Our emotions could literally kill us. You could feel something so strongly you die. That's crazy. Like, have you heard of like people dying of a broken heart? Like literally, like they wounded so bad emotionally, they stopped living. Damn. Okay. Well, clearly there's a reason why it's amplified and that intense and that catastrophic, because it must be we really need to master our emotions. Yeah. I mean, would you want a king or queen ruling a dominion of people who had a temper? I know I wouldn't. We've all heard those stories in history. People of power who didn't have their emotions in check, and it hurt the people that they were supposed to protect or rule. So, this is also why I appreciate the perspective of Earthrealm being a school for future gods and goddesses. Or, it doesn't even have to be future. It could just be for gods and goddesses. Sometimes, like, you can be in a position and you can mess up and get demoted spiritually. You can ascend and you can descend. You can be ascended to the point in your experience where you are constructing entire galaxies and universes with your mind, and then you get to kind of choose like the real, but it's wild. It really is. Our experience of like God is very infinite. Hi, Darius. Not much. What about you, bro? I'm just tired. Probably gonna head off here soon. I really appreciate you guys for hopping on. I just wanted to hop on. I just got home. Wanted to tell y'all I love you and put some kind of message out there to be of benefit or of service. They could have been Genghis Khan. All right. I'm gonna pull a little bit from this other deck. All of the decks I have, well, not all of them, besides the one that you know that I use on basically all my videos, the Cosmic Slumber. All these other decks, I haven't even had a chance to play with or use or work with. I haven't read the books, haven't connected with them, but it's cool. It's fine. I'm excited to use them. I bought them for a reason. Jump in, Andromedan Energy Adventure. Say yes to the change. Deep dive within ourselves and watch your life change. Wow. That's almost like you're safe to do so. Yeah. Oh my gosh. A lot of you. All right. So, someone in the collective, if you're even still watching the live by now, someone in the collective has been receiving a lot of downloads and messages, and you have a desire to share it in some kind of way, and you've been thinking about how you're going to do it. And for some of you, this might be like creating like a platform or like a YouTube or something like that. For others of you, it could be your own unique way, and you would know. But I'm almost kind of getting the energy of like someone might be wondering like, should they? Can they? Are they supposed to? Are you going to be safe? What's going to happen? Like, because I mean, the information you might be channeling and receiving, I'm, you're not going to make everyone your friend, I'm sure, and that's okay. But what I do feel very strongly for you is the divine wants you to know that you are safe to speak your truth. Don't ever not speak your truth out of fear. Ever. Period. Point blank. Done. Get it? Got it? Good. Great. Truth. That's it. There's no reason to be scared of the truth or afraid to speak the truth or worried if If it's your truth and you are feeling guided to share it or express it, do it. It's okay if it's not someone else's truth. It's okay if whatever. I really feel like you are safe to do so. And I also feel like someone is you're being like so strongly guided and pulled to do something. And I feel like there's just a little bit of like, well, how would I and like it's just a little bit of like hesitation or resistance to this. And again, I really do just feel like the message is trust. Take the jump, take the leap. Just dive into it. Don't even think about it. Just do it. Like when I go live on this, I didn't have any idea what I was going to talk about. I didn't even sit down and really meditate or anything like that. I didn't pull on the cards or I didn't know what was going to happen. Just jump right in. Fuck it. My intentions are right. Something good's going to happen. Will it be my best work? I don't know. So, get out your own way. If you're being called to do something and you know you need to do it, do it. And it like, you don't have to really see the full vision yet. You don't have to see the end product before you start getting started. And if you're an artist, you really understand what I mean by that. There are so many times I'm working on a piece of art and I have no clue what I'm even doing. I'm like, people are like, oh, what you painting? What you drawing? I don't know. I'm just trying to put a feeling out there. I'm not even really sure what it is. I'll know when it starts to take form. Right now, it's just raw flow of energy. And it's okay to start something without full. It really is. As long as your intentions and everything, like I'm not telling you to jump in and haste yourself. But sometimes we get so caught up in trying to make something perfect or trying to like critique or analyze it so much and we get analysis paralysis or like this perfectionism or you get in your head. Get out your head. Get out your head and just get into doing. Oh, I love that. Like when you can just like be spontaneous, you don't have to even think. You can just be and just be free and just be present, be in the moment. That's it. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about what people are going to say. Don't worry about, well, what if it don't? And fuck that. Right here, right now. What you trying to do, dog? Oh, for real? That's what's up. Let's do it. Let's work on this. Let's get this out there. Let's get it popping. Let's get it rolling. Whatever it is. Yada, yada, whoop, de whatever. It's cool. We just got to get out our head and get into the action. So, whoever that was for, I really feel like, you got it. And there's a look. Oh my God, I didn't even realize. Called at the bottom of the deck. Soul gifts and training. It's time to step up. It is. The first card in this live was South Node. What's that? Comfort zone. That's what's familiar. That's what's easy because you already understand it and you can expect the outcome and ins and outs of it. But you can't grow in your comfort zone. I mean, like, I don't know if you've ever done any kind of like physical activity or like a sport or like gymnastics or skateboarding or anything. You're trying to learn a new trick or a new something. You're not going to get that your first time. Like, yeah, sure, like you could stick with your little cartwheel and your little somersault if you're doing gymnastics, and that's your comfort zone. That's fine. But eventually, you want to be doing handsprings and bouncing and flipping, but you got to get out your comfort zone. You might hurt yourself. You might overextend. You might land weird, but you're gonna learn, and you're not gonna get anywhere in your head. Is what I'm trying to say. You have to get out there and be willing to try. You have to be willing to fall. You have to be willing to do it, even if it's not enough or it's not perfect or whatever your mind or your little nag is telling you. You got to be willing to do it anyways, regardless. There's been so many times I have sat there and worried about whether or not a video that I recorded to put on YouTube was worth putting out there. You don't believe me? You can ask my twin flame. There's so many times I would record a reading. I'm like, oh my God, was that okay? I feel like that was, and I would fucking like imposter syndrome, psych myself out of it, almost like delete the reading, posted it, and it blow my mind the feedback I got on it. I'm like, really, y'all? It's so easy to be our enemy. And then we had Earth School and then New Earth. So, Earth School, learning the lessons, soul growth, higher learning, stepping into your calling, transcending, healing. Many of you are being called to be messengers, to put, you are receiving a lot of downloads and inspiration and ideas and light that needs to be shared. A lot of you are currently resisting the birth of the spirit baby you've been pregnant with for I don't even know how long. Well, I don't know. What if it's not fully formed yet? What if it's not? No, look, it's spirit's baby anyways. It's not yours. So let it go. All right? A new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. New earth with activated earth. Wow, that was a potent, like, little line of energy. We had the earth school, and then after we learned everything from earth school, we get blasted into new earth, and then we activated that new earth. Trust yourself, trust the timing. All right? It'll all happen as it's supposed to. Remember, the divine is in control. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. Thank you all so much for joining me in this live. I will be back up and running with my normal schedule by the next day. You might not have a 10 a.m. tomorrow because I'm tired, but it's going to be all right. I love you all. You guys are all amazing. I am going to take a moment to connect with the guys in chat, but the reading is over, so you are free to go if you're still here. Danny Ward said, other people's behavior is only contagious if ingested. Don't eat that shit. Exactly. It ain't your hate cake. You don't have to eat that hate cake. That's their hate cake. Give that shit back to them. I'm not eating no hate. I'm not in the market for sin. We serve God. Like, what the hell? That's your problem. Bye. You are absolutely right. I know something you don't know. There's no competition. The only competition is, I mean, your shadow. Or what you were a second ago. I don't know. I really, like, I don't know. Like, why even be competitive? Because, like, to me, like, competitive almost feeds ego. What's the point of competing? That makes me feel like you feel as if there's somehow a separation between you and what you're competing with. Or that there's like an idea that someone can be better or worse or superior or higher or lower. No, it's all just an experience of self. We're all one being. Just what experience of self do you want to show others? Do you want to show people that you're mean and nasty? Sure, you can. They probably got some mean and nasty in them too. Shit, I know I got some in me. Fuck around, find out. I hope I don't dive into that. I hope I heal so I can just be graceful and give it to God. But, you know, we're human and we're learning. Surround yourself with champions. Exactly. If you have friends or people that like, ugh, I don't know, they're just never going to make it and you know it, and it's because of their attitude. Get away from them. Get away from them. Get with like-minded energies. Like, make your cutoff game so strong, it's insane. Like, it's okay. It really is. Like I know I probably hurt some people's feelings, and I don't mean to. It's just I love myself, and I understand what you're doing, and I don't want any part of that. So I'm just gonna walk away, and I'm gonna go talk to this dude. Oh, you trying to collaborate? Oh, okay. All right. What's up? What's up? What's up? Yeah, what's up, bro? Yeah, we cool. We tight. Let's kick it. Let's talk. Oh, you want some hate cake shit? Nah. I don't even want to be near your kitchen. Nah, I bet that shit stank. Nope. Oh, you trying to serve the collective? You trying to heal? You trying to like talk about some like higher dimensional shit? You trying to like uplift humanity? You want to like collaborate? Let's make $1 million off of spirituality and then give it back to the people so that way there is no poverty. It's not my money, it's God's money. Period. That's how I feel. It's not my money, it's God's money. I live by that too. Like I really do. The cheat code is a hard path. Yeah. I'm out here turning karmics into soulmates. Wow. Powerhouse. Truth is a form of love. That's because the only truth is love. I so appreciate you for saying that. Thank you, Daniel. Death doesn't exist. Beats by G&D. That is an interesting statement. I feel like I understand how you're applying it. Like we don't ever really truly die. We just transition to the next experience. Um, but I don't know. I like death in a way. So I don't know if I could really say death doesn't exist. Because if we were to say death doesn't exist, then neither does life. But if you're stating that we never really like cease to exist, like we don't actually die and everything ends and it's over, then yeah, I can agree and understand that. True, all organs hold emotions. Yes. Oh my gosh. People will literally look at the word disease. It's literally spelled dis-ease. We were created perfect. Like we really were. We were I almost said perfect, like a perfect reflection because we are. And like, thank you. I understand. Thanks, Freud. All right. Um, so I have literally I know people that like have gastrointestinal issues and it's because they don't process how they feel. And it manifests in stomach issues or like yeah. Yeah, it's just there's a lot of truth in what you just said. Oh wow. God bless you, Elena. I'm sure that was heartbreaking to witness your father go through. Yes, you are absolutely right, Daniel. There is a placebo effect and then there is a nocebo effect. Yeah. All right. So what is we understand placebo would be basically the positive aspect and then nocebo would be the negative aspect of the same function, the same exercise of just physics of how energy works. So if I gave you a sugar pill, but I told you it was going to cure you of your headache, there's a good chance that by placebo effect, your headache would be cured because you believed that pill was going to cure it. Well, the nocebo effect is something along the lines of if you believe that something's not going to work, I could give you the literal cure for something, and if you are adamant it's not going to help you, it won't. You're right. It absolutely won't. That's how powerful we are. This is also why I have an issue with our current medical approach to health. I feel like it's extremely flawed because it's focusing on the biology, not the spirituality of it. And ultimately, it's all caused from, it's an energy thing that manifests in the lower levels. So we need to take it back up to the top and address it from the source, not put poison in our bodies. But that's just my opinion. Choose your own adventure books have been coming to my mind lately. Many of you are like about to break through on like a whole new life and world. I mean, we really have ascended a lot. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the upcoming changes in our world that are coming up. Now, I'm sure there might be some craziness, but that's all right because we understand even in the chaos, there is a divine orchestration at hand. Star seeds and sun seeds. I like that. I haven't ever heard anyone say sun seeds. We're just divine seeds. We're all seeds of the divine with the same infinite potential. Superposition, right? Quantum mechanics. You are everything until you think you are of something, and then now you're actually experiencing separateness. This is why I really appreciate Mushin no Mushin, which is a concept in Japan of having mind without mind. Yes, Tiagra, we are our own worst critics. It is downright abusive sometimes, the things we say to ourselves that we hopefully wouldn't say to someone else, but I mean, damn, I can be mean as shit to myself for no good reason. What about death is an illusion? Yes. Hannah, that is an interesting concept, but if death is an illusion, so is life. And what exactly is the illusion? That something has ended or began or experience? So are interesting things to think about that could definitely lead to profound, enlightened, serendipitous, like eureka kind of moments. I love that when that happens. When something just clicks off one train of thought and then just makes everything else make so much better sense. Infinite potential in a mustard seed of hope. Beautifully put. The new earth is clear. This world is its shadow, Monique. You know, that's an interesting perspective, and that almost reminds me of the approach where people say that we are already in new earth and we are simply hallucinating a shadow experience of it because we haven't woken up fully to ourselves, which means we are still unconscious. We need to heal, we need to face our shadow. So, that could be an interesting way to add on to that thought. Don't say something to yourself that you wouldn't say to a best friend. Be your own best friend. Self-love will take you further than like it's wild. Monique, exactly. Okay. How do you know when you find your twin flame? And what's the difference between that and a soulmate? Oh gosh. Okay. Oh, this is hard because I don't believe in a couple things that a lot of people believe. Like for example, I don't believe in a false twin. I feel like that's bullshit. I feel like that's just someone being confused and experiencing a karmic soulmate or a soulmate with a karmic connection. Because like no, like I don't because I understand divine and I'm like, well then why the fuck would there be a false flame? There isn't. There would be like the only way a false flame could exist really, and it does, but only in this way is people will call someone their twin flame, and that is false. So in that sense, yes, they are a false flame, but it's not that that's an actual. It's not like there's an actual creation of a false twin flame, like a shadow flame or something like that. That would be interesting, but no, that's I haven't experienced that. I have no reason to believe that something like that exists. All right, so back to your actual question about twin flame and soulmate. Um, I knew the That's kind of hard. It is hard. That's a hard question to answer because I've had soulmate connections, and then I'm currently in a twin flame union now. Um, I recognized that it was twin flame because of how strong our telepathy and how the energy felt was. Before we were even talking, I was extremely telepathic with her. Um, you'll know it by the fruits. Twin flame journeys have very unique characteristics that are not applicable in a soulmate relationship. A twin flame is deeper. All right, let me put it this way. And this is hard too because oh my gosh. That's a tough question. It really is. So, my twin flame is me. Sorry, one second. I'm reading something. Thank you for that, but yeah. Okay. So, a twin flame is like extremely intense. And I know soulmates can be too, but it's not the same thing. A twin flame is yourself. It is finding yourself, and so it's hard to explain. And it's usually a more difficult path because you guys will mirror the best and worst things about each other right back at each other, and that could be extremely frustrating. It's because you are trying to unify to self. So like a soulmate, you'll get the same like esque in a way. Like at first, initially, we're like, oh wow, like I feel like I've known you before, or like you'll get a sense of familiarity with a soulmate. The person will feel familiar to you, but it's not going to be extremely intense. That is that is the main thing I can say. Like if you really want to know the difference between a soulmate and a twin flame experience, it's the intensity. The intensity will tell you. If it is intense off the fucking charts and kind of scares you and makes you want, like, part of you kind of wants to run away, but part of you is also hungry for more, that's probably a twin flame. Energetically, I don't mean codependently or karmically. That's a psychological thing, and I wasn't talking in a psych sense. Yeah, I'm gonna have to actually just think on that question. Thank you for all the 222s in the chat. I have been seeing 222s a lot recently. Yes, Renee, when you can hear someone's dreams, yeah. All right. So like that's one of the characteristics. The main difference between a soulmate and a twin flame is the intensity of your connection to them. The intensity of your connection to them is on a whole nother freaking level than just, oh wow, I could love you forever and I know you and it's like we've known each other our whole lives. Yeah, that's different. That is. If it's easy, it's probably not a twin flame. If it's really comfortable and familiar, probably not a twin flame. If it's like heaven and hell at the same time, could be. Or it could just be a really karmic situation. Males usually get the telepathic images before the female. I did not know that, and honestly, looking back at my twin flame experience, I opened the telepathic communication. And I had telepathic downloads of memories and things of hers before we met. And then I shared them with her after we started talking, and she was like, oh my God. And then she told me like about the memory, and I described it to the T of what I experienced. And it was, so that's interesting. I wonder why that is. So let's look at the masculine being electricity. Oh, that's okay. Got it. Got it. Okay. So, yeah, that would be why the masculine would experience that first. Is because she's the magnet pulling it in and then he's branching out and connecting to form the electromagnetism. Nice. I love that. I love learning with you all. Yes, telepathy and a home feeling. Thank you. I'm glad a lot of you have supported those notions. And thank you so much for the super. God bless you. May it come back to you sevenfold. Yeah, some I don't want this so-called twin flame. He's super karmic. You know, we do all have free will. And you know, if you had a chance of falling off your path, so did they. And that sucks. When you like came into contract to come into union, but your other half won't do what needs to come into union or alignment or harmony. That's a big wound. What happens in the future? Who knows? Sorry to hear that, Renee. I hope he heals. And if there's something in the future intended to happen, we all understand divine timing, but let's just let God's will be done. Crazy spiritual gifts when twins activate. Yeah, you will go through. So when you meet your twin flame, you will start to experience a lot of spiritual activations and gifts and abilities. And it's funny because I remember right before I actually started to become telepathically connected with my twin flame. I was single at the time, and I remember I was walking in the woods, and I basically like cried out to God and was like, "Is it too much for me to ask for to find a partner who is spiritually on my level?" And then like it was like a shift when I said that out loud, and then within a couple weeks, I started becoming telepathic with her. Are you a divine feminine, Ian? How would I be a divine feminine? I'm confused. Um, to be fair, I do believe I have incarnated in many feminine roles, and I am in tune with my feminine side. Am I a divine feminine? No, I feel like that would be an insult to divine feminine. That's good. I'm glad, Renee. Mm, technically, a relationship is a third wheel. I'm trying to understand what you mean by that. Are you like basically saying because you're seeing the relationship as like a concept and you're objectifying the two individuals that are supposed to be whole as one being, therefore it's a third wheel? Like, I don't know if I'm understanding what you're trying to say correctly. Okay, cool. Thank you, Daniel. Yeah, then yeah, I appreciate that perspective too. Like, it's just unity, it's love. Like, damn, like why can't people figure that out yet? Between you and Jesus. You know, a lot of relationships get it fucked up when they leave out God. I've seen it happen so many times to so many relationships. People will get together and they forget to include God in their relationship. And watch what happens. I understand that, Elena. I wouldn't rush it because it's intense. Renee, that's an interesting point about does death really do us apart? Maybe that's why in this world we hear tell death do us apart in like a lot of marriages because maybe of what you're saying is trying to like be applied and understood ahead of time. Um, I have met people that I knew were a spouse of mine in another life, but knew that I wasn't supposed to be their spouse in this life, and there was no karma or bad energy between me and them. That would be the difference between a soulmate. I have met people even after being in union with my twin flame. I have encountered soulmates that I knew I've had past lives with them, and we were happy, but they're not my twin flame. We are all looking for God, but where are each of us looking? That is actually a very profound understanding of even sleeping people. I used to wonder, like when I was younger, like as a teenager, like in high school and stuff, I used to wonder like why people enjoy doing things so much. Like I have a sibling who really enjoyed video games, and I didn't really understand like what is it about this that you get so like and it I realized like this is where this individual finds light. We're all seeking the same thing. We just don't realize it. And video games for that individual was a way for him to find that light. I pray he finds more. My goodness. You're not allowed to laugh. My twin flame's laughing because she knows who I'm talking about. Split up early 20s, 20 years apart. He connected me, then ran, and it's been 10 years since then. Well, damn. That's a hell of a runner chaser phase, right? Good thing ours wasn't like that. My runner and chaser phase was actually really funny because it was partially like we kind of crossed paths, but we were tied up with a lot of like Dark Night of the Soul kind of shit going on. And then I relocated to go find myself to the other side of Virginia. And then I didn't even know she was my twin flame. I just moved on, essentially. Um, it's wild. It really is. It's wow. But then so like there was a little bit of a manifestation of that, like in that 3D, but the majority of our runner and chaser phase was actually telepathic. And it was kind of like me telepathically arguing with her that this was meant to be, and why are you questioning and overthinking so much? Just fucking text me. She's laughing at me. She knows I'm right. To not give it so much attention, yeah. That's and energy really does go like it flows where our attention goes. Like we need to be aware, but we can't dwell on those things. We can't focus on it. Otherwise, it's gonna hurt us. There is nothing without the divine. Exactly. Thank you. The profound and first and foremost, that is to stop calling yourself an addict. Set yourself free. Not you, but people in that loop. You know, Renee, I get that. Labels can be so damaging. Extreme. The light flickered when I said that. Labels can be so extremely damaging to our psyche and to our understanding, and then ultimately our growth. Um, and like especially like with addiction, because like be like, oh, you're just an addict, and then be like, all right, then you get better, and then they call you a recovering addict, but you're still a fucking addict. Fuck that, bro. You're a human being. You're a human being that had some wounds and you picked up some unhealthy coping mechanisms, and now you got to pick yourself back up. Don't label yourself nothing. What we are seeking has been inside of us the whole time. Yeah, that's the big thing. A lot of people, and that's how you can really tell who's awake or not, is like, are they seeking externally or do they just shut up and go with it? We can access everything within ourselves. It's in like, there's no limits. It's kind of intimidating, honestly. True, I know a guy, ice addict now, used to be alcoholic. He's like, will always be an alcoholic. Okay, stop saying that. You are just, yeah, that he graduated is what happened. He graduated from one devil to another, and not in a good way. Yeah, people will say so many disempowering things over ourselves, like, oh, I'm just broke, or oh, I'm just, and this is why I've say a lot in my videos, be very careful how you finish the sentence, I am. Um, say I am healing, you know? I am ascending. I am letting go. I am transmuting. I am something. But don't say I am powerless or I am this or I will always. Yeah, that shit's hard. And it also sucks because like, and I'm surprised I don't see Josh in here piping in, but like AA and NA and like it. The system is designed to fuck us. It really is. Like even our incarceration system, like the way we handle criminals just creates more criminals. The way we handle addicts just continues the issue. The way we handle mental illness is literally fucking insane. Oh my gosh, I can't stand the way people handle mental illness. It is the actual issue. You know how many people I've met who have trauma because of the systems in place to help people with mental illness issues? My revenge is staying faithful, thriving. Yep, that's what I said. The best revenge is giving it to God. You don't have to live by 3D labels. This is why I just don't like using them. And it sucks because, like, I want people to understand what I'm saying, but I don't want to use the terminology that we've used for years because it's part of the problem. Our language is limited. Our constructs are part of the problem. Like, I really just want to dismantle everything and bring us all back to unity. I am my twin. Yes. The 12-step enabling system. Oh, wow. Yeah, yeah. You are completely powerless. Oh, yeah. Fucking that's shit. I mean, I've overcame a lot of addictions and mental illness successfully on my own through self journey and love. Um, if we heal the reason why we are using, you won't use anymore. My theory is mental illnesses are the labels we use to judge our power because we don't know how to understand it or harness it. Um, I actually dropped out of college because of what they were trying to teach me. I only did about a year of college. And I really enjoyed some of the classes, and I really just dicked off and didn't do anything else. I was kind of a punk in school, to be honest with y'all. I always rebelled against the system, and I got myself in trouble a lot. But like abnormal psychology was a class I took, and the way they approach it is insulting. Like, I appreciate the scientific and objective nature to it. And this is why, like, we really need to unify everything. We need to bring everything in because, like, we can't keep compartmentalizing science. Like, why would you understand something about life and then be like, okay, I understand that, but that only applies to this and that's only relevant to this, and this is a whole new thing that has nothing to do with this. But you just said that this was a truth and fact. So why are we ignoring that when we're looking at this? And this is why I can't stand this world science. It's insane. Everything is separate. It's a biology. It's a quantum. It's a Newtonian. It's religion. It's philosophy. Not that. It's the same damn thing. We're trying to understand the same thing. Ourselves, God, our experience, life, purpose. It's all the same thing. We've labeled and compartmentalized and left brained the shit out of our experience. We really need to declutter and unify it all back up so we can come back to source and understand what the hell is going on. A week in college? I don't blame you. Addiction is a tough road, bud. I am still battling that demon. Bro, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Actually, straight up, I'll share it with you. Because maybe it'll help. I used to be addicted to doing a G of ice and a G of down a day. I was like 70 pounds. I looked like a fucking alien. I hated myself. I went through so much like torment and terror. I was in psychosis. I was battling all kinds of fucking demons. I wanted to die, but I wanted to live at the same time. I've now been years clean from that. I actually recently just got off probation. I'm a felon, y'all. If you couldn't tell by the way I talk. It's cool. These are things about ourselves we have to accept. I once was addicted to things. I once was self-afflicted and self-harming. I once experienced extreme mental illnesses. I was psychotic. I was in psychosis. I was hallucinating. I wasn't in touch with reality. Like, it was horrible. But I'm here. And then, when I tried to work on or improve myself, the world kept trying to put me in a freaking box. I kept wanting to heal. I kept wanting to change. I kept wanting to find my purpose. But everywhere I go, I got that one big F on my record. That big felon, dog. And, like, that shit fucks you. Couldn't get housing. Couldn't get good jobs. I'm not a stupid person. I'm not a bad person. But people see that on your record and they automatically assume the worst of you. Don't even have a clue how you got it or your story or what. It doesn't matter. You're labeled. I wanted to be a psychologist. I'm not allowed to in my state because I'm a felon. I tried to be a healer, a therapist or something. I can't do that. I can't work in any of the field I did. Um, and I now understand why, because what I'm doing now, I still found my path. I just had to make my own way. The system kept telling me I couldn't do something, so I had to improve myself and ascend the limitations that were put upon me and create my own damn way. And now I feel like I'm fulfilling that desire I always had, even as a kid. And I'm doing it very differently than I thought I was going to. I thought it was going to look like college degrees and whatever and start a bit. No. No. And for some of you, it might be. For me, it ain't. It's okay. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because I want everyone to know, no matter what you came from, no matter what you have done, no matter what you have experienced, you can always change. You can always heal, and you can still be successful. You can still make something of your life. I've hit extreme rock bottoms like you wouldn't believe. It got to the point to where I didn't like getting out of jail because then my problems came back. Then life sucked again. But when I was on the inside, shit, I didn't have nothing to worry about. I was free. There was something literally going on. Like, no person in their right mind would prefer to be incarcerated. So what the hell was I running from? Be easy on yourself. Healing's a journey. So we call it schizophrenia. Yeah, look, I've got some feelings and beliefs about some of these labels we call in abnormal psychology that are just offensive. Honestly, we should teach these individuals who are gifted how to use it. Because right now they're experiencing the curse of their gift. They're channels. They're operating outside of the normal 3D frequency range. And when there's a dis-ease of their balanced energy, of their function, they're going to experience that gift as a disease. It's going to feel psychotic because you're not in alignment with the truth. You're confused. This is why I promote love and healing. Actually, this reminds me of something I wrote down to share with you guys, and I never shared it. And what it said was, help is the reason why I promote God. Because all the help that is seemingly given to us by the world or the structures or the systems that be is actually hell. That's the shit that's keeping you enslaved, keeping you trapped, keeping you a victim, keeping you stuck, and not having your own empowerment. And I rebuke that shit. I went through, and I didn't go to rehab, y'all, like at all. I literally just had enough. I realized I was destroying and hurting everything in my life, and I had to change. I did. And, you know, people around me didn't. And I don't talk to those people anymore. And they might be like, oh, you changed, you blah, blah, blah. No, whatever. I just fucking healed. I grew up. My theory is mental illnesses are the labels we use to judge our power because we don't know how to understand or harness it. I agree with you, Elena. A lot of it. Or like seriously, a lot of it. Because like think about it, if you're an open channel in your crown, but you're not locked into the divine yet and in your faith and you don't have protection of white light around you, what do you think's going to come in through that channel? All sorts of shit that wants to fuck you up. And then you see people who are schizoph yeah, like I don't even want to speak that because it's not even true. They're spiritually ill. And it's not even really you know, I wish I knew another language so I didn't have to speak English, because I really don't like the English language. Our educational systems are broken, and it's been on purpose. Yeah, oh my gosh. My kid's about to start school, and like, you know, you can always find out in rehab or jail. Yeah, you're right, Renee. It really does feel amazing just being here. I'm so glad you're here, Trisket. Thank you. And I wish you the best, Bobby, on your journey. Withdrawals are not the end of the world, bro, but when you're, it's rough. I fucking just sweat that shit out. I was in complete psychosis. I was like, it's bad. Like, you ever run from shit that's not even there? You ever fight something that's not even there? And I mean, really fight it. Like, fight it like your life depends on it. Like, come across the house, kick the damn door down, and screaming at the top of your lungs and swinging out. What? Nothing. Nothing's even there. What are you fighting, dude? 8 years of self learning. Congrats. All diagnoses are about the providers making a system for understanding that everyone is talking about the same thing, not meant for anyone to own as themselves. That is a fair point. Thank you, Daniel. The emanation of the soul flame. Just talking about that about an hour ago. The system is keeping us in separation for the purpose of hindering our ascension. Yes, Bobby, you're absolutely right. This is why I want to dismantle the walls. This is why I want to remove organized religion. This is why I want us all speaking the same language. One faith, one mind, one heart, one God, one love. That's it. Anything else is an illusion. Words like we, they, us will unlock the frequency to put you into alignment for hidden soul tribe members to help or want to help. Work on personification skills and you'll see the change. And that is actually very powerful advice. So thank you for sharing that, Kaylin. I appreciate you admitting that, Bobby. Yeah. I remember when I graduated from Coke. Shit was rough. But now it's crazy because like, and I've been sharing this with my twin, you know, it's weird living this way because I love myself so genuinely. Like, for example, like I might even like go out to dinner and like be like, okay, I'm gonna order myself a drink. Why not? It looks nice, it looks fancy, it looks tasty. And then like I can't even get myself to drink it. Or I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go outside, I'm gonna smoke an L or whatever. And then I'm like, I don't even want to get high. I don't want to smoke weed right now. I feel too good how I feel. I don't want to cloud up my head. And that is so very different than how I wanted to use it. I used to just want to not exist. I just wanted to be nothing. And then now it's like I really enjoy how I feel. I really enjoy who I am. I enjoy my life. And it's like I don't want to poison that. I don't want to shut it out. I don't want to cut it out. So really it's self-love. It really is. Loving yourself will get you through it. Addiction stem from unhealed trauma and not befriending your shadow. Exactly. I was running from myself. Every once in a while, I get tempted by college. I feel you, Bobby. Hey, and at least, you know, that ain't gonna hurt you. That one thing you got going on ain't gonna hurt you. That F on your record sucks. It makes it a lot harder for you to be a contributing citizen to society because they permanently label you as something less than and don't deserve rights. Like, what? I mean, y'all know me. I mean, before I shared that about myself, would you have thought any, like, you know, like, I'm a human being. I've got things in my heart, and I'm not bad. I've made some bad decisions. I've learned from them. It is what it is. That's all you can do. How long is too long for functional moderation? Mm. I would need to understand a little more variables before I answered that question. This is the kind of honesty and authenticity I crave. You know, and that sucks. It sucks that we live in a world where everyone is fucking fake. Like coming home to my freaking family's house. It's like that song, Picture, Picture, Smile for the Picture. What's the name of that song?
Hold on.
Ooh, y'all were blessed. You heard that voice of an angel? But we can beat it all with a strong willpower. Yeah, literally willpower. I willed myself not to die from those
Dollhouse.
withdrawals. Dollhouse,
Dollhouse by Marilyn.
Maryland.
Uh, Marilyn.
Sorry.
You're good.
By Melanie Martinez,
Yeah.
Dollhouse. Yeah, it reminds me of the lyrics from that song, if you know what I'm talking about. She's basically talking about how her family's all fake and they all smile for the picture and it's all plastic, it's all lies. And what the fuck is the point of it because it's not real and it's not authentic? How long can you not resonate with someone and stay by them? Oh, um, it depends on how much you love yourself. I feel it, Daniel. I appreciate it. You know, I kept that quiet for a long time because like I really kind of wondered like, you know, because I understand how people can be sometimes, and I had to overcome that. But people be like, "Oh, don't listen to him. See, he's talking all that crazy shit, but we already know he's just a drug head. He's just a felon. He's just a criminal. He's just a piece of shit. Blah blah blah." And like, I knew people were gonna say that, and I really wanted my truth out there because I knew like someone can benefit from this, and as long as someone did, like, shit, I did something with all this pain that was beneficial to someone else. But now y'all know. I didn't get this shit because I was just born and handed all this wisdom. Fuck no. I went through hell after hell after hell. And most of the times I wanted to die. It took me a long time to realize life, love. All that shit's gonna get overturned because all their laws are illegal anyways. You know, let's just defund everything. You give me hope. I really hope so. That was the main reason why I shared this, because I really wanted people to know, like, no matter what you have done, no matter how low you are, no matter how broken or how labeled or how disadvantaged you are, you can still make it. Whatever it is, you can do it. You can find a way. You're just gonna have to pave your own way. I wish Tarot was taught as the system of psychology that it truly is. Yeah, the people who created Tarot were extremely intelligent, and like I'm still just barely scratching the surface of my understanding of it. You are being a psychologist, what you did, but in divine way, not indoctrination. Thank you, Renee. I really do feel like I finally found a way to be what I always felt I was called to be, but do it my own way. And it's not the way the system told me, and it's not, you know. Self love will get you access to things you couldn't even imagine because we live and grow up in a world where people don't truly value or love themselves without. Yeah, and that's sad. It sucks. Like when people just put their value on a fucking temporary thing. Like, don't you want to be everlasting? Don't you want to be eternal? That's why the ratio and scenario of retail therapy is so high. Oof. You're absolutely right. If you're a good person and honest, the past is irrelevant. No one teaches self love, not even the church. Ain't that fucked up? Getting us on to only connect with Earth angels. We need to create a new channel, a new platform, something outside of AI. All right, y'all. I think I have been on here for quite some time. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off because I feel like I'm gonna fall on my face when I stand up. My knees are locked up. All right. I love you all so much. If you are still here and you're still connecting with me, I greatly appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much. I will start recording again tomorrow when I wake up refreshed, and we will be back up and running on regular schedule. So I greatly appreciate every single one of you. God bless you all. Just remember, love. That's it. If you take anything from it, it should be love. No matter what, just love yourself and you can do things you wouldn't believe were possible. Okay? And you're probably an inspiration to so many people and you don't even realize it. So, God bless you. I wish you all the best. I hope you have a wonderful evening, day, morning, night, whenever you are seeing this. I wish you the best.